The first bill on special orders is House File 740, number 129 on general orders. Senator Herr.
Madam President, I'm presenting House Bill 740 with the language of the Senate File 886. And Madam President and Senators, every year for the at least 15 years, there's an omnibus land bill that describes the provision requested by the DNR and the counties in selling or otherwise conveying certain state lands, including tax-forfeited lands. The 2013 Omnibus Land Bill, or Senate File 886, is a combination of 16 land bills from 10 senators, and also listed boundary changes for four state parks and 1 state forest. It provides technical change to the landowner's Bill of Rights and authorizes the DNR to use proceeds from sale of incurred lands to pay for expense incurred by the DNR in selling or exchanging lands administered by the DNR. This bill is non-controversial, but before I stand for question, I have an amendment, A50.
Secretary will report the amendment.
Senator Herr moves to amend House File number 740 as amended pursuant to Rule 45, adopted by the Senate May 8th, 2013, as follows. Page 2 after line 7, and this is the A50 amendment.
Senator Herr.
And the part of this amendment, the first part of A50 is concerned the use of tax-forfeited land as school forests by school district and other public education institute. The later part on page 6 is a sale of surplus state property for the Leon Hoffman Center in St. Peter, Minnesota. On page 8 is the Goodhill County land sale authorized the DNR to sell a 1.38 acres strip of wildlife land to the adjacent landowner to improve their access to their properties. And then lastly, on page 8 is the Harbor County tax forfeited land sale authorized the county to sell by public sale a 2.34 acre parcel border to Hennepin Lake. And the amendment is just to make sure that our Senate bill has the same language as a House bill.
Is there any discussion on the A50 amendment? Seeing none, all those in favor of the A50 amendment say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The motion prevails. The amendment is adopted. Are there any other amendments? Is there any more discussion? If there are no more amendments, can we do third reading? Secretary will give House File 740 its third reading.
House File number 740, a bill for an act relating to state lands, modifying landowner's Bill of Rights, modifying land acquisition account, providing for school forests, providing for sale of certain tax forfeited land.
Senator Hall.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Every time Senator Herr has a bill on the floor, he has asked me if I'm going to razz him on it at all. And I try to tell him no, I wouldn't do something like that. But I do have a question for Senator Herr. Would he yield?
Senator Herr will yield. Senator Hall.
Thank you. Senator Herr and Madam President, Senator Herr, you stated just a minute ago that this bill is not controversial. And my question to you is, did you mean it wasn't controversial, or are you speaking for us that right now you know it's not controversial?
Senator Herr.
I would hope it be non-controversial on the floor here, but it has not been controversial the past 15 years, and also throughout committee, we hear it in the land subcommittee, and it pass it on to the Environmental and Energy Committee, and also the Economic Development Committee, Finance Committee, and then the our General Finance Committee. So it passed unanimously.
Is there any more discussion? Senator Hall.
Thank you, Senator Herr. Knowing that it probably wasn't controversial, I was just concerned because I was hearing so many people out in the hallway. I thought maybe it was about your bill.
Senator Pratt.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to thank Senator Herr, Senator Rood, and the committees that reviewed this bill for including Section 28 on school trust lands. I'm a member of the School Trust Lands Commission, and they voted unanimously and bipartisanly to support the process outlined in Section 28, with the understanding that the Commission will continue to be involved. The state's been lax in trading lands that are not capable, and in all honesty should not be capable, of generating revenue. These lands were set aside to help finance our constitutional obligation to educate our children, and I appreciate that this body's support of the joint bipartisan School Trust Lands Commission to continue to monitor this. So thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Senator Herr.
Madam President, I'm honored that our Senate member thinks that the crowd outside are here to support me on this bill, and I'm quite honored. And as a Metro State Senator or a city kid, I find it quite challenging for me to also learn a number of new counties that are a little foreign to me, like Coochaching County or Lac Quinpar, and I take great honor in learning those counties. And as I spoke many times in my communities, that I'm one of the senators that represent a metro district that have lots of constituents that are farmers, and I'm very honored of that, and I'm honored to take on the challenge. And now I encourage, on the contrary, I say that I hope that it's not a challenge for you to press the green button. So thank you very much.
Is there any more discussion? Senator Limmer.
Thank you, Madam President. Senator Herr, when you get out to those counties, can you bring me, because I don't know these counties either.
Is there any more discussion? Senator Ingebrigtsen.
Thank you, Madam President. And I'd just like to make a comment. I carried this bill before, and it wasn't near as controversial when I carried it than it is today. I didn't have that kind of noise out in the hallway, but I do want to thank Senator Herr for allowing one portion of this bill as something that I actually did work on over the last 2 years. And members, you should. I'm always, I think, get up every year and remind everybody, especially this time of the year when legacy starts coming forward, when there gets to be some acquisition questions back and forth about buying land. Just also always remember that we are also selling land here in the state of Minnesota whenever we can. And yes, it doesn't include as much as the acquisition in this particular bill, but there are those. And again, I encourage anybody, if they can find any land out there that the DNR does not need anymore, to encourage them to sell it, and this would be the vehicle to do that. And thank you, Senator Herr.
Senator Bach.
Madam President, I'd like to help Senator Limmer a little bit, because Senator Herr made a reference to Coochaching County, and I think Senator Limmer might not know where that is. So I could probably help him. And the Coochaching County is probably better well known nationally for one of the cities that resides in it. It's International Falls, Minnesota, the ice spots of the nation.
Is there any more discussion? Seeing none, the Secretary will take the roll on House File 740. All senators having voted. Who's coming? All senators having voted, the secretary will close the roll. There being 61 ayes and 0 nays, the bill is passed and its title agreed to.